Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the greatest recordings ever. And today we're talking about Purcell, Dido and Aeneas, the greatest tragic opera that you could do with 3 people, 2 instruments, and fit in less than an hour. Yes! Pretty cool, actually. No, it's a wonderful work. It's beautiful and delightful and fun. And it's this one. It's a Decca legend from 1961. And it is legendary. It features Janet Baker as Dido. Fresh, young, always serious Janet Baker. People who know her have told me she does have a sense of humor. And that is a good thing. I'm very happy to know that. But her recorded legacy is not humorless, not by any stretch of the imagination. She encompasses the full range of the characters that she inhabits. It's just that she tends to inhabit characters whose range runs from nobility and sort of wonderfully majestic suffering to tragedy and sorrow and rage and, a lot of the less, shall we say, zippy emotions. But she could do it. I give her full credit because she does it in her song recitals. So yeah, we know she got it. And Dido is one of her great roles. It's absolutely, she was a fabulous voice. She's totally with it. Totally with it from the very beginning to her famous lament, "When I get laid in earth." You know what I mean. When I am laid in earth, or whatever it's called. I don't know. It's called the lament. The reason it's called the lament is because the first lines are, "When I am laid," or "when I get laid," however you want to do it. And it tends to produce a humorous chuckle where humor is not intended. It's actually very funny. I've always said this. If you go through the titles of English choruses, which are usually based on the first line of whatever the text is, "He was despised," or "Hallelujah," or, "For unto us a child is born," whatever it is. It's the first line of the text is what the title of the piece is. But there are certain exceptions. And one of my favorites actually is the Demon's Chorus in The Dream of Gerontius, because the first line is "low-born clods." Yes. No one's going to say, "Oh, they sang so well in "Low-born clods." And no one's going to say that Dido did particularly well in "When I'm Laid." So, Anyway, that's a terrible digression, isn't it? Dido and Aeneas has been done now 430 billion times by every period instrument group that ever existed. And some of them are very, very fine. They really are. They're lovely performances. But there is a lot to be said, much to be said, because the orchestra is nothing but strings. It's a very, very simple piece. And 4 soloists, basically, and a little tiny chorus. You need great singing. More than those astringent, vibratoless, horrid-sounding strings, or some harpsichord continuo player who's mugging and trying to hog all the limelight for themselves. What you need is great singers. And who do we have here? Okay, so Dido is Janet Baker, absolutely magnificent. Belinda, her friend, is Patricia Clarke, lovely and nicely contrasted in timbre. Aeneas is Raymond Herincx, who was also, really in the prime of his career when he made this recording. And the sorceress, another fabulous casting choice, is Monica Sinclair. Do you remember Monica Sinclair? Monica Sinclair made her career doing all of the crazy alto lady comprimario roles in Gilbert and Sullivan operas. She was Katisha. She was Buttercup. She was Ruth. She was all of those characters. And oh, how marvelous she was. She was a real fruity English contralto. And she's wonderful as the sorceress because she has fun with it. I mean, you don't get, it's not that she's mugging, you know what I mean? She's not ridiculing the work, but she is the perfect person to do the sorceress, because the sorceress is she's a sorceress. What can I tell you? She's a figure of grotesque. She's a grotesque. And Purcell's music reflects that, and her singing reflects that. And it's all held together by the English Chamber Orchestra under Anthony Lewis, with the St. Anthony Singers doing the tiny little chorus bits. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful performance. It really is. It's a sort of unfortunate that we have a picture of Janet Baker there looking, terribly serious as she's about to get laid in earth. And it doesn't tell you just how much fun the recording is, what a joy it is to listen to and to revisit when you've got singers who are all in excellent form, and they're having a great time, just putting over a stupendous performance of a little gem, a masterpiece of Baroque music. It's really just a wonderful experience. It's certainly one of the greatest recordings ever. So keep on listening, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.